Alright, so today I'm working on a layout of the plexiglass layer, preparing to drill holes for the items that will penetrate through the plexiglass layer. The lighting will not be drilled. This is going to be a single pane of glass, and I will change the illumination underneath on the colors based on either an LED or some type of vinyl overlay. I've not decided quite yet, but this is how it's getting laid out. Let's see, the sandwich that I'm making is a half-inch plywood sheet and an 1/8 inch plexiglass layer. Okay, so I have all my markings laid out, and I've brought it down into my work area with my drill press. My idea at this point is to do a test area down here. The reason being is I'm going to try and go through the plexi, the translite, and the plywood in one go. Now, the fear that I have with this is the translite. Will the Forstner bit cut through the translite in a clean fashion? I'm kind of hoping so. Or will it grab and try and twist the translite material? I hope not, but it's a possibility. If it does well in my test area, I will do the rest in the same manner. If it fails, I'll have to separate these layers, pull the translite out, put it back together, and then just go through the plexi and the wood. I do have a Dremel router attachment, which I have for doing the slots in the outlanes, that I could also use to cut some of these. I think a Forstner bit would do a better job. Whether or not the Dremel will cut a slot in translite material, I don't know that either. So a lot of experimentation going on here. You know, as usual with me, it's a one-shot attempt because, you know, this stuff is expensive, and I don't want to have to replace it. So a lot of tension at this stage, but hopefully it'll progress well. I'll kick off the video again when I start it up. Alright guys, here's what we're doing today. Or this evening, I should say. I've got one hole drilled with the Forstner bit right here. Kind of an interesting observation. I'm not sure what exactly has gone on under the hole here because I have this protective film over it, so I can't exactly see the state of whatever I'm drilling through. On this one, I drilled down to the top of the translite material because I can see, you know, you can feel it when you're drilling. And then once I hit that, I got my X-Acto out and I cut through the translite. So I don't know what might have happened here. It could have torn out small pieces from the side. I'm hoping that the Forstner bit is making a clean cut through it as well, but I can't be sure. So on this one, I'm trying a little different. My objective here is to get like a section of this done, and then I can peel back the layer and just see what the damage may or may not be. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I've gotten these holes drilled here. I did find a variation between my virtual machine and the actual Playfield. There's a little bit of physical distance difference. I'm going to make up for that by rearranging some of the Playfield items down here, which tested it out virtually, and it doesn't add or detract from the gameplay. So it's not a big thing, I don't think. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and cut through this. You can just watch and see what happens.
Thank you.
this debris so I can see what's going on. Whether I'm through or not, I'm not certain. I have my depth gauge set, but since this is only the second hole, I'm just not sure that depth gauge is still correct or not. Looks like got some more to go. I'm pretty satisfied with these Forstner bits. I got them from Harbor Freight, or what's the other one? I don't even know. Yeah, a little bit. They make really nice cuts, and so far it's gone through all of this material like a hot knife. It's kind of interesting, the different colors of wood in this plywood sheet. I like to keep the work surface fairly clean as I'm working. So what I'm going to do now is just attach this C-clamp so I can raise it up a bit and just see that I'm cut all the way through. And looks like it may not be all the way through yet. Let's loosen that one too. Yeah, I am not through yet. Let's tighten this back up. There's always some kind of a problem when you're working, so in this particular case I'm hitting my C-clamp with the arm, so let's pull it off. And that sounded like I hit the bottom. Yeah, and there's the little piece. So that should be it. Let's check the bottom. Feels nice and smooth. All right. Yes, we are through. So there you can see a nice clean hole that I'm getting from these Forstner bits. How does the back look? Looks about like that. Pretty clean on the backside too, really. So let me bring you in here a little closer. That's exactly what's going on for this thing. It's like prototype board. You can see this makes a lot of hair from the plastic. I like to kind of keep it clean, so you know what's going on. The other thing I discovered is if you don't keep it clean, it can shove some of this debris up under the protective layer, and then you end up with these weird looking circles which got a bunch of debris up underneath of it. like this guy here, and these over here. So just keep it clean out, and then I don't have to worry about that. Now, that popping noise tells me I've gone through the plexiglass sheet. And the reason why I stop it there is because it always gives me this little circle piece. And if you leave that under there when you're grinding on down through, it could get unpredictable results. So what I've been doing is just popping it out of there. And then I can take my X-Acto. What is kind of cool though is once I cut through this and get to the translite, I can tell if I'm spot on with where the hole should have been. Just kind of cool. I'll go ahead and run it. It does tend to melt the plastic as you're drilling, so the hole at this point is not perfect, but it will be once I get through it. Again, I'm just trying to get some of this extra debris out of here to try and get as clean a cut through the translite as I can. I don't know how much of this you guys are seeing, and hopefully you're not seeing my back. But well, there's the piece that cut out of there. Again, we'll clean up the debris. Now it'd be really nice if I had a CNC or could afford a CNC or knew somebody that had a CNC and the ability to program the thing. I figured by the time I learned all that, I'd waste a whole lot of time. So I'm just plugging on. I've been at this for 6 months now. The cabinet is complete. So now I'm just focused on the Playfield. The artwork was designed a long time ago. Now it's just let's do the physical stuff, which is get the Playfield done, attach all the mechanisms, and I can power up some flippers and do some testing if I like, but it's already been pretty much tested virtually. So I'm pretty confident that the playability is there. It's now, are there physical limitations when you're dealing with mechanisms and things like that? You've got spaces on the bottom side that you have to account for. So if you get a drop target mech too close to another drop target mech, there's just no room for it to function or even mount. So those are the things that I'm trying to discover now. And like I said, the first thing I discovered was down here in the pinball, down here in the flipper area. I found that the parts that I purchased for the out lanes actually extends way up here. Well, the pop bumper's right there. So there's actually no way that a ball could ever go through the out lane because it would hit the post first. So what I've done to account for that is also my bumper cover extends way up to here. So I just decided, well, you know what? I won't have outlane traffic in that fashion. And so I did some play testing with this virtually, with getting rid of these, just making it like it is physically, with just a pop bumper there and the pop bumper here. And it still goes down the middle quite a bit, so that doesn't bother me. What I am toying with, and I'll have to see how it plays eventually, but this is something that I can do after the fact. I'm thinking about removing this piece here and just having this like this. There's some Spanish games, I forget the name of the company, that had an opening at the very back of the flipper lane. So if you tried to catch a ball, you had to make sure it wasn't too much speed or it would just dump off in the edge. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here, is to have it do that. Well, when I played it virtually, it had some interesting things, like this bumper hit it and it went here, and it would travel on up and actually bounce over here somewhere and then hit the pop bumper and drive it right back to your flipper. I thought that was kind of neat. The other alternative I thought was just having a lane here with a drop target on the end, and then you could do some kind of flipper tricks where you could flip her up and hit that target and flip her up and hit this target over here, which could have some interesting play as well. So I'm going to play around with that virtually first, and then I'll probably play test it with it the way that it is now, and then if I like it, I'll run with it. If I don't, I'll end up chopping the bracket there so that I have more open area there. This also, I have a ramp that I was carrying down into this lane. Still could do that, but then this out lane here would have no function. So I'm thinking about going and dropping it down this one to give this one function. And then if I have the target there, and I shot it up there and hit the target, then this lane still has purpose. So, yep, that's what we're doing. So let's drill some more. Like I said, the Forstner bit does really good. It's also does well with clearing out whatever's underneath of it. But when you break through to the bottom layer, that's when you get a nice chunk in there, and you probably want to get that out of there just before you continue on. All right, so that's it for now. I probably blathered on too much anyway, but catch you guys later.